Hello and welcome to News Mobile Budget Explainer. I am Saurabh Shukla.
And I'm Anisha Nayyar Dhawan.
It has been a budget which is a vote booster budget, and Finance Minister Piyush Goyal has actually done a game changer. He's announced a tax rebate for anyone who's earning up to 5 lakh rupees. They don't have to pay any taxes.
Individual taxpayers having taxable annual income up to rupees 5 lakhs will get full tax rebate.
Effectively, if you have an income of 6,50,000 and you do some savings, you don't have to pay any taxes. Anisha, a big vote boosters if you ask me.
Yes, and not just the young professionals that have an income of nearly 55,000 rupees a month. Even for senior citizens, there's good news. If you have interest income, the TDS threshold has now been increased from 10,000 to 40,000 rupees. And of course, the standard deduction has also been increased from 40,000 to 50,000 rupees. A big relief for salaried people.
Certainly, this is a budget which aims to get the young voter to NDA's side, because Prime Minister Modi realizes that this election will be crucial for him and he has to make sure that the young voters are wooed. That's the reason they made all-out measures to woo the young voters.
Yes, and not just the young voters, there are SOPs for farmers as well. Those farmers that have up to 2 hectares of land will now be transferred 6,000 rupees every year directly into the bank accounts in 3 equal installments. Plus, the 2% interest subvention scheme continues if they have been affected by a natural calamity. And this 2% interest subvention has been extended to animal husbandry as well as fisheries. So, a boost coming in for farmers as well.
PM's Josh is very high, post Uri as well. He's also made sure that the finance minister allocates the biggest ever defense allocation in any budget. So that's a big focus of the government as well. So big boost to national security as well.
And a social security scheme has been announced for those in the unorganized sector. About 10 crore people will be impacted by this. So for those in the unorganized sector, they will get a monthly income of 3,000 rupees after they turn 60 should they contribute anywhere between 50 to 100 rupees a month, and the government is going to match this from its side. So it's the social security scheme or a pension scheme is also a big booster to those in the unorganized sector.
We believe it's a good budget, especially for young professionals. Let's get you now, what are the big bites, what are the people saying about this budget? But before that, we get you the finance minister and what the opposition is saying about this budget.
ये बजट न्यू इंडिया के लक्ष्यों की प्राप्ति में देश के 130 करोड़ लोगों को नई ऊर्जा देगा.
It was not a vote on account, but an account for votes. It was not an interim budget. It was a full-fledged budget accompanied by an election campaign speech.
ये बजट एक सर्वांगीण बजट है. ये बजट विकास को गति देने वाला बजट है.
Unsurprisingly, the opposition doesn't look very happy with the budget, but how does corporate India view this budget? Over to Saurabh with this.
Thanks, Anisha. I'm now joined by a very senior tech leader, Managing Director, GoDaddy India, Nikhil Arora. Nikhil, what's your sense of the budget?
I think it's a very consumer-friendly budget. It raises, puts more money in the hands of consumer up to 5 lakh, no taxes. I think standard deduction being increased, a lot of benefits on the TDS, and especially I think the efficiency of processing, the 24-hour. So overall, it's a great consumer-friendly budget.
So corporate India is definitely welcoming a consumer populist budget. Just after the budget was placed, our colleague Shipra caught up with those on the streets on how they are viewing this budget.
Thank you, Saurabh and Anisha. It has indeed been an interesting budget. Now, we are at Cyber Hub in Gurgaon and we're going to be talking to a few young taxpayers to understand what is their understanding of the budget. Just want to understand what has been your understanding of the budget that was presented today.
I think it's quite lucrative as of now for the middle class people. But let's see, it's not on the paper as of now. Right. Let's see what actually happens when it comes on the real paper.
It's a good one because the limitation has been increased from 250 to 5 lakhs, and there is a deduction is also increased from 40 to 50. That's good.
Totally like a vote bank only. No, there is no actually budget or all. It's totally vote bank.
आज का बजट काफ़ी अच्छा आया, मिडिल क्लास के लिए काफ़ी अच्छा आया. लिमिट उन्होंने जो 2.5 लाख से 5 लाख की है.
This budget is just before the election. It is going to change the mindset of the people, but At the same time, you need to see the overall impact on the economy.
I think, the budget will not be implemented directly. A lot of people who are under the 5 lakh tax bracket right now would possibly, move out of it by the time this actually gets implemented. So they would still be paying tax on it. I think it's a good move for the population. It's great for the people. But this is clearly a political move to actually get the votes in for the next set.
बहुत अच्छा था इस देश में जिसको भी जो गरीब आदमी है या मजदूर है या लोअर स्टार्टिंग जॉब करने वाले हैं यंगस्टर हैं उनके लिए सबके लिए छूट दी गई.
Well, you saw the mood on the street. That certainly seems upbeat, but it remains to be seen if this vote booster budget will get all the votes for the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government. Anisha, that's $1 million question.
And that we'll only know once the elections are done. But there was relief for the markets as well, because the slippage on the fiscal deficit side came in as expected. For this year, the fiscal deficit has come in at 3.4%. But it is good news for consumer-facing companies, be it automobile companies, be it FMCG companies, because they would be expecting an increase in demand.
So watching News Mobile, and do share this video and follow all our updates on www.newsmobile.in.